Right. We've just finished Planet of Fire, a story with changes galore. We've had the return of Chameleon and the Master, but he's very small. Oh, yes, he is. A little titch. That's all I got. That's all I got. Humphrey's going to be well cross to me because we had intended, at one point, he was intending me getting my band back together and doing like a big epic show tune. But there we go. That's all we've got for that. And anybody who hasn't seen video of episode 1 is going to have no bloody clue what was just going on. And fair play to you. Don't waste your time with this rubbish. So listen, let's just do the personal bit first. I have now seen, with the possible exception of a bit of Time in the Rani, but then again, there's that many clips of that floating around that, you've seen it all. Pretty much every Doctor Who story ever made, apart from the ones I can't see. But you never know, the BBC might announce something. It'd be really nice, wouldn't it, if they just turned around and said, oh, actually, we just found Evil of the Daleks. Even if they turned around and said, oh, actually, we just found the Space Pirates. I'd be like, get in. Let's watch the Space Pirates again. Let's have a bit of Milo Clancy. But right now, we're talking about Planet of Fire. And that was, for the last full Doctor Who story that I have never seen, really, really good. I really, really enjoyed it. It was, do you know, the adjective, I can just hear my guitar resonating here. The adjective I'd most use to describe it, and this sounds like I'm damning it with fake praise, you're not enjoying this, Dusty, is interesting. It was just really, really interesting. There was so much going on that's worth talking about. I particularly enjoyed the Master, but what I particularly enjoyed about the Master is the fact that because the Master is chameleon, he was actually significantly more rubbish a lot of the time. And I actually think that really benefits the sort of face-offs between the Doctor and the Master. And the fact, I mean, the effect of him being little was slightly laughable as a shame. And I'm not entirely sure of the point of view shots of Perry, not the point of view, like we were full on to Perry and her sneezing. Why did she sneeze? Did I miss?
Shoe.
Thank you.
Say I'm not going to hit you with a shoe.
She would. Yeah, that whole. I mean,
Maybe we should see more of sexy old Perry.
do you really think she's that sexy?
Keep the dads watching. Yeah,
Well, I'm a dad, and I'm going to keep watching.
Time has changed, but back in the 80s.
Yeah, fair comment. So
It's fit, so it's not my kind of fit.
let's talk about Perry then. Perry is, at this stage, and this is no criticism, generic companion material, and that's fine. A bit of a peril monkey.
She's a brat.
Yeah, and I think, to be honest, that's not a bad dynamic
Whiny brat.
for Doctor Who. And it'll be interesting to see all the stories she has with Davison and how that develops. But anyway, that's by the by. So that was good. I mean, the general story I thought was really interesting. I like the way that it's, all the Turlo leaving stuff. So I like this strange notion that in their last story we get the background of a companion. That's never really been done before. And I've really enjoyed Turlo. I mean, I've really, really enjoyed Turlo. I think he's one of the more interesting companions conceptually. And I actually think Mark Strickson's performance is pretty much on the money. I don't think Libby's been as taken. And I am a little bit, I mean, I keep mentioning it, we'll do something with the cards, but the new Magic set's coming, the Doctor Who Magic set. And I find the fact that Turlo's the only black companion quite delicious, really, quite delicious. So yeah, there we go. So I'm totally down with all that. Peter Wingard, by the way, who sang that brilliant song, superb. And, all the performances, in fact, I've enjoyed all this. The only critique I've got, to be honest, of Planet of Fire is, I mean, it's not a dynamite story. It's a good story. I still think it shares a problem that the Davison era has, generally, which is the fact that it's a bit monotone, isn't it? And I think that it really typifies that monotone because the colour scheme is pretty consistently terracotta. That's fine, very pleasant. And I think that just tonally all the way through, it's pretty consistent. I've said this loads, haven't I? we haven't got a doctor to cut against it. We haven't got a companion, really, who is, as much how can I express this? I just sometimes think the companion can come across as being completely out of place. I suppose Perry's out of place, but it's her first story. And like I say, generic Paramonkey at the moment. That's fine. That's fine. So there we go. I mean, grand stuff. And we all know what comes next. And quite frankly, it's in contention. It's in the conversation, is it? The next story. Dusty agrees, don't you, Dusty? Yes, you do. So it's in contention for the greatest Doctor Who story of all time, and that's grand. And this is a bloody good final few stories for Davison. Not just good for the not just good for the programme, but good for his character, for his interpretation of the Doctor as well. Because when we do the summing up, I think it's fair to say that this Doctor seems to have been quite ground down with recent events. Highly appropriate. It's worked in other instances. The dog's going bonkers. You've been very good recently, Dusty. But there we go. Good times. I can't wait for the next story. Genuine. I've been looking forward to the next story for ages. Oh, good times. Right. See you later. Bye-bye.